Earlier this week, my friend called me to vent because he had just lost his mom to cancer, and the whole time he said he had been strong, but the night that he called was when everything really felt like it was starting to pile up. So we were on the phone for a good minute, and there was something that came out of it that I just knew I had to make a video for. So he was telling me how, for whatever reason, he didn't want to admit it, but he was trying to keep God away from his mom this whole time. And his mom and his family are very, very religious, all about God. It's awesome. So when he was telling me that, it was really sad to hear because I knew that that's not how it should have been, and that this was the ultimate time that he was really being tested. So he told me that the last time he prayed, it was when he was with his mom, and he hadn't since. And well, not even that he hadn't since. I asked him, I'm like, so when's the last time you prayed? And he was like, or have you prayed? He's like, kind of, which when someone says kind of, you know that means no. And I told him, like, you know that's what the problem is. Like, you haven't prayed about it, and you're trying to keep God away from your mom and this whole situation and this experience that you're going through. And his reasoning was because he didn't want to get mad at God. And it's crazy because I've never talked about this before with anyone, and it just came out of me, and it really felt like it was God trying to use me to speak to him because I never thought of it in that way. But after he was telling me that, the first thing that came out was, I said, you know what? You can't be afraid because it's okay to get mad at God. And in a weird way, it's kind of like he wants you to get mad because when you're mad, that's when you are the most vulnerable. That's what's going to really, at the end of the day, bring you closer to him because it's going to just establish your relationship more. So, of course, like, God doesn't think like, oh, I hope that my child gets mad at me today. But when you're mad and you're honest and you're vulnerable and you're open when you pray to him, like I said, it's going to bring you closer. It's going to, like, make you feel this relief. And I just kept telling him it's okay to be mad at God. And maybe when you actually talk to him and tell him that you're mad at him, like, you're going to feel better because you're going to get it off your chest, and then he's going to speak to you in a way that he hasn't spoke to you before. And I said, the more and more you try to keep God away from a situation, like, the worse he's going to feel, because at the end of the day, God put him in that situation and he allowed it to happen at this time, because who knows what would have happened if it happened earlier or later. Like, I don't want to get too much into his business and, like, put it out there, but just basically, as soon as they found out, like, that his mom was diagnosed with cancer, their family had to make a lot of adjustments. And the doctor had said that she had up to 5 years at best, but unfortunately it came sooner. But when he was explaining the different circumstances, I had to tell him, like, God allowed all of that to happen for a reason. There's a reason the situation is what it is right now, because maybe you just wouldn't be able to handle it later, or maybe somebody else in your family wouldn't be able to handle it later. So it's like, when you keep God away from a situation, you leave the situation in whose hands? The enemy. So it's like, I kept telling him, would you rather your mom be protected by God or be in the arms of, like, the enemy? Because you only get one or the other. So the point of the story was, I was just telling him he was being tested, and this was the time to, like, really let it all out and go to God, because this is when he needs him the most. And like I said, I don't know who this video is for. I don't know who's going through something where maybe you are trying to hold back because you don't want to blame God for a situation, or get mad at him because you don't want to blame him for what happened, or think that he put you in this, like, heartbreaking situation that you think you can't handle. But the thing is, like, you can handle it, and you will be able to handle it, and you will get past this the sad part and the hard part right now eventually if you keep God in it. So no matter how mad you are, how happy you are, whatever it is that you feel, you can't be afraid to let God know that, because like I said, he wants you to. So don't think that you can't get mad at him, because it is okay to get mad at God once in a while, because getting mad at God will bring you closer to him at the end of the day, and it will only like get better from there. So I hope this video helped someone. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week.